Everybody, welcome back to Brown's Custom Creations. Today we're going to be working on this walnut slab here. A customer wanted a epoxy resin river dining tray to put on her ottoman rather than a coffee table, because she can then lift the tray, put it away, and use the ottoman whenever she'd like, rather than picking up a coffee table, trying to find somewhere to put it, to bring out the ottoman. And it just seemed like a great way to save space, to have a beautiful piece of art in there to admire and to show off, and really excited to get that going. So with that being said, we're gonna get this all prepped for epoxy and wood, to finish it up, and we gotta make a form still. We got a ton of work to do, but hope you guys come along to ride with me through the whole entire process. Like I said, I'm gonna throw the river down here, and this particular customer wants it clear to be able to see all the way through, which I think is a fantastic idea with this walnut, because it's the dark and there's some light rings here to offset that, and to almost, the contour will just be magnificent. So the customer wanted this to be squared off because it is going on a square ottoman, and this piece has a slant. So she wanted some 32 by 19, so I had to do the math. I took a little off each side. So what I did is I just made a little railing here so I could line it up 6 inches. That way I could ride this and get a straight cut. And I'll zoom it in a little so you can see what I'm talking about. It's got my wood clamped down, and then I got this piece of metal, straight edge, clamped down. And the base of my saw is 6 inches away, so I just measured the metal 6 inches from this line on each end to square it up and make the cut, and it'll be all ready to go. You'll get a square cut because your saw will ride. I'm going to upload these videos into segments as well. The first video being the beginning, getting the process down, flattening the piece, planing it, sanding it, however you'd like. If you got a thickness planer, I really like these old school hand planers. I just love using them. I also have a router sled, router table, bunch of different routers, and we can go through all that stuff later. I'm just gonna go through the basic. This wood is pretty much flat, so I'm just gonna go over it with my level and kind of see where it's a little higher. And what I'll do, and I'll zoom it in here in a moment, but what I'm gonna do is kind of just go over the whole piece, maybe 2-inch sections. You can even go 4-inch sections, and I'm going to mark the high spots with the pencil. That way I can go over with my planer and hit those, and they'll be level, flat, and be nice to go. So like I was saying, we're gonna go through and hit these high spots. And the way to find the high spots, move your level up and down until it's flat. I mean, if you see some light right here coming through, then it's high over here, or vice versa. So I pushed it back down this way. So I'm seeing that it's going both ways. So that's gonna tell me the middle's high. Somewhere in here is just a little high, not much. I'm gonna come down, like I said, 2 to 4 inches. Do the same thing, and it's showing me right around in here is a little high. This ain't too bad, but I will hit a little here. That's good. Rest of that's good. Now obviously a plane is adjustable. Some go clockwise, some go counterclockwise, but make sure everything's all ready to go, it's all sharpened. And what I do is I set the blade all the way up, resting in the plane. And then how I adjust it is I just set it down and I move it 1/4 inch each time I'm passing by. I'm moving it, sliding it, then I'm moving 1/4 inch to bring the blade down, whether that's counterclockwise or clockwise, whatever your plane does. Same method applies though. I'm gonna keep just going. There we go, we're hitting wood now. And I wanna see where it's coming out. The chips are coming out of the left side, meaning this blade is cocked a little. So, flip it over, take a look down, and you should have something right here to be able to adjust your blade. Okay, now we're in the middle. Let's see what it's looking like. Yep, and the shavings are coming out. Okay, so I got that piece planed down. I didn't want to really waste the time going through planing. If you guys have any questions, comment below. I can answer anything. I'm gonna make some more videos on that subject matter, just solely on that. So we'll get back to that later. If you have questions, email me, anything like that, and I promise I'll get back to you. So what I'm gonna do now is I just brought half the table over. I'm gonna sand it down, and I just want to get these rings really showing. I'm starting with 150. You can use a palm sander, you can use an orbital sander. For the longest, I just use a hand sander, and I still do quite often, especially every piece I finish sanding with, I finish with 220 to 340 or whatever with my hand sander. That's not the electric one or anything. But I love this 1/4 inch palm sander just to really go through. I started with 120 on this particular because it really wasn't roughed up, and I probably could even started lighter, but I really wanted to get down into that grain and get that showing in here because this is one of the most beautiful pieces I ever worked with. Credited to ABC Materials and Building Materials in Akron on Johnson Street. Anyhow, shout out to them. The guys are great. They're fantastic help. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to 120. I'm gonna go to 150. Then I'm gonna hit 220, and I think I'll be cool with that. And then a final finish sand. But I'll go through a little bit of that with you, and we'll get it going. Now that you've got your project, whatever it might be, table, tray, etc. Now that you have it flattened, you have now found all of the high spots by using the level. You've sanded your piece to where you like it, whether that's to 220, that's where I go. Then I do a final hand sanding over that. What else did we go through? We got it cut. I showed you how to make a railing. So now this piece is ready to go in the form. So like I said, I sanded it all down, got it all ready. The next video is gonna be building the form, which is super easy. I'm also gonna make a video on showing you how to make a flattening jig if you have a router. The easiest way I found, it took me 5 minutes. So now that this is ready, we're gonna get it in the form and waiting for the epoxy.